Well, hello and welcome to Random Noise. I am your host, Sarah, for today, and we are going to be going over these topics that have been presented to us. So, I want you guys to sit back, relax, wherever you are in your car, relax, pay attention to the road, and welcome on into the show. Alright, you guys, welcome back to Random Noise. My bad, I messed up on the name. But right now, so we're going to be discussing the topic of the inflation, you guys. Me and Maya, we're going to have a general conversation about the inflation. And we want to know how you guys feel about the inflation and the expenses of the cost to live in America nowadays. So Maya, how do you feel about the inflation? Like, what do you have to say about it? Do you agree with it? Do you think it's okay? Like, what you think is going on with it?
I would never, in my right mind, agree with inflation. Just because I just feel like it only affects a percentage of people. In that percentage of people, I am broke.
How do you feel about the inflation?
As far as inflation, it's not something that I'll ever agree with. I feel like it only affects a certain margin, a certain percentage of people. Taxes go up, prices go up, but the cost of living doesn't go up with it. I'm sorry, the cost of living does go up, but what I make at my job doesn't go up. Nothing as far as putting into my pot, as far as my job, my career, etc. None of that increases with the prices of everything that I'm having to spend on. And these are necessities. I'm not just out here spending outrageously. So yeah, as far as inflation, how has it it's increased since COVID, I believe. We've all seen the gas prices almost spike up to $5. We've all seen like eggs go up and down, bread, milk, and I mean these are just basic household essentials. Even water and what was it, tissue or something like that. I just find it very crazy, outrageous. I'm not sure about the science behind it, how they determine this, who makes these decisions. But as far as me, all I can say is I'm broke and struggling. How do you feel?
Are you trying to ask me how I feel? It's a joke, okay? I was waiting for Maya to, kind of bring me into the conversation, anyway. But it's okay. Yeah. It's a joke. It's a ripoff. This is it's a reflection of how screwed up our government is. The inflation is basically a slap in the face. I work at I don't want to say exactly where I work, but when we go to grocery stores, you guys, it's so disrespectful of how much they're ripping us off that they actually fill products halfway and make us pay full prices. Like, it's a slap in the face. Not only that, they have risen the price of everything, and on top of that, they are making at least 75% much more money off of us. Think about it. If they're taking out the taxes, correct? And then on top of that, they're raising money, the money that we spend generally as a population by 50 and 60%. That is 75% to 80% that they're making off of us. And so the inflation is just a slap in the face, and the greediness of America and how deep and wicked and evil these people are, because that's just what it is. They don't care about the homelessness. They don't care about the homelessness crisis that we have. They don't care about the epidemic of drugs that we really do have. They don't care about the problems that we have that's right there in our face every time we go to work, every time we go to shop, every time we step out our door. We see people that are mental patients that need to be in mental institutions, but for some reason we don't have enough for the health care. We see people that are homeless on the street every day, but some reason we don't have enough to put back into our community for the homelessness. We see people that are starving. We see families that are struggling. We see people that are in poverty with our naked eyes every day, and yet the government is so greedy that they are billionaires. One person can have $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 billion. What the fuck? Most of us don't even know what $1 billion even looks like, okay? But $1 billion, why would you as one person need $1 billion? Like, what's the sense of that? But that's just how evil that The America is. That's just how evil the government is, and that's why I don't trust them at all, because we have people that are struggling every day to pay their bills, to feed their children, to just survive, and yet they still don't even want to raise the minimum wage. Do you guys know that minimum wage is still in some states $7.25 an hour? If you calculate that, that person really is just making $50 a month, and then they have expenses bills. When you go to rent or own an apartment, you're going to at least look at from 1,200 to 900 to 600. We got from 600 to 900 to 1,200, right? This is in renting costs. That doesn't include water. That doesn't include light. That doesn't include groceries. That doesn't include clothes. That doesn't include necessities, okay? So, yeah, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. The inflation is just a white man's way of saying, hey, I'm stealing from you, but I'm going to put a pretty name on it. Period, poo. And so that's how I feel about the inflation. Anything you have to say else, Maya, other than what you said?
I don't understand.
Well, it's not for you to understand.
But, and like you said, it's like they're increasing necessities. You know, water is something that everyone needs. Everyone can use.
And then they don't want you to hand out water in the voting line.
No.
It's ridiculous. Like when we go to vote to change the shit that they doing, they want you to stand in the line, be thirsty. Then they want to make it harder for people of color to even vote, to help make this stuff change, to make America better, to make it even, to make it equal. It's called equality. You know, and it's a joke. That's how I feel about the inflation. Inflation is just the devil's way of laughing at all of us. All of us who are not billionaires.
Making it harder for us to become billionaires and grow and be.
I don't want to become a billionaire. You want to become a billionaire, Maya?
I don't necessarily care to, but it shouldn't be this hard to become one.
Right, that is true. I don't give a fuck about becoming a billionaire. Okay? What I do care about is saving the community. What I do care about is feeding the children. What I do care about is voting. What I do care about is making sure that we get most of our mental health people off the streets in the United States of America. And what's so sad about this, Maya, is how they bring in foreign people from different countries and treat them better than the homeless. When we got people right here in America that's suffering and need help right now, but you take in foreign people that jump the border, that don't even have a social security, amen, and you give them a place nice, high rise in New York. How you feel about that? Did you know about that?
No. Who are you talking about? Who
they brought the little foreign people that the Iranian people that was coming from fleeing from the war. That was coming from Europe. You know how that boat had sunk? And they was trying to get to Europe, right?
Yeah, okay.
And the ship of 700 people sunk in the water when them 5 marine people, the people that built that damn submarine, the rich white people, the rich billionaires, built that fucking...
With too much time on their hands.
Right, yes. And went to the sea, to the bottom of the sea to see the Titanic.
Yeah.
And blew the fuck up.
Yeah, that made news.
Yeah, during that same time, a ship of 700 people went in the water, women and children and men, sunk, and they didn't even cover it, didn't even want to cover it. They was trying to flee the war from Pakistani government, where they took them people. They took some of the people that was fleeing out of these wars from these different countries, and some of these people made it to New York. Yeah. And you know they set these people up nice and neat in New York. And then you know how the governor DeSantis in Florida came up with all these discriminatory laws and stuff. And so the immigrants start fleeing. Yeah, if you were supposedly caught with, let's say you was in Florida, okay, I want to say last year. Okay, so this man named DeSantis came up with this law. If you are caught with a Mexican in your car, an illegal immigrant, you know, you get put in jail. They get sent back to their country. You have to serve 5 years for harboring. They call it harboring an illegal immigrant, even though you driving them to the store. Don't you know this man made a law? If the immigrant, if the farm worker immigrant that may be illegal and in the inside the United States illegally, fall off the tree and break their leg and their leg is wide open, they need to go to emergency service services. Don't you know they have to present to the emergency medical people papers? And if they don't have papers that say they're not illegal, then they can't get service. They die right there on the spot. This is some of the laws this man made.
So listen. What if I'm a Uber or a Lyft driver?
You're going to jail.
Oh my goodness. So basically, they want everybody to discriminate against the Mexican
and make them show
community.
papers.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, girls. So all this shit is a slap in the face. The inflation is a slap in the face and of disrespect. Period. Pooh. Period. Period.
I feel like it could be almost like a distraction, right? Because if I'm having to work more to basically buy less.
Yes, and
spend
they have
less.
People, yes, Maya, but they also have people that have 3 and 4 jobs just to pay 1 month of living.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous because they don't want to raise up the minimum wage.
Right.
And it's sad because it's not fair because what happened is $7.25 in the year 1816 is a lot of money. Because you can go to the movies for 10 cents back in the day.
Right.
You can buy a loaf of bread for 15 cents back in the day. You understand?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
You want me to break it down?
I get you, but that's just not my day. But
right.
I've never seen that in my
But this is how sad it is, though, Maya. You feel me? We in year 2023. And the minimum wage is still $7.25.
Yeah.
But yet to rent a house is at least $1,600 just to rent.
Yeah.
That's not like waters and food included.
I will add that we are in the state of Georgia. I'm not sure if is that the federal minimum wage. I don't know. I'm just speaking on that because $7.25 is definitely the minimum wage in Georgia.
Georgia minimum wage has not risen either. They have different places in Georgia that still, I know you guys are out there, I have discussed that. That's why we're trying to get a law passed for it to be at least $15 an hour for everybody.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that.
You are on differently.
But again, so I was trying to say, I feel like the raising of the prices, inflation could be a sense of a distraction. And forgive me for relating it back to COVID.
No, it's called the silent, what they call it, the silent depression. It's called the silent depression. That's the new name for it. I'm telling you right now.
But okay, so
I watched Roland Martin. Hey, Roland.
Let me
ask Dr. Rachel. Hey, Dr. Rachel. Wait, Anna. Hey, TYT.
I
love you guys. That's right, baby. Okay.
Yeah, she got it.
And Jinx. Okay. I had to do my shout out.
Yeah, I know.
And Vicky Dillon.
Somebody
talk back to me. Hey.
These are all good channels. Please check them out. Sarah is Vicky a shameless plug and a fangirl right now.
I sure am.
But
you guys educate me.
What was I saying? I was saying, and this is just a question, maybe a theory. I may be right, I may be wrong. I want to know how you feel, Sarah.
Okay. Well, you want to know how I feel?
Yes.
So,
we friends today. Okay. So.
Sometimes, I guess.
Sometimes.
You be on some other
Love
shit
you.
All
right. Okay, so, inflation, right? And I'm just thinking of the timing of it. I know inflation has happened before. I know depressions have happened before. But if we look at the timing of this particular inflation, right? I'm thinking COVID, right? COVID was a time where no one was able to work. We were being supported by the government. A lot of people were getting stimulus checks, XYZ,
they got help,
unemployment.
But I got you. What's your question?
Understood. I'm trying to explain it for the people, if you don't mind. Backstory. So, COVID, right? Also the height of what? The Black Lives Matter movement. So do you not feel like this has become a distraction? A lot of the people that were out in the fields, out protesting, maybe they're having to go back to work, right? We don't have as much time on our hands because we having to work extra, probably overtime just to make our bills. So do you feel like that is a form of distraction from what was or what still is the Black Lives Matter movement?
Do I feel like the inflation is because of Black Lives Matter?
Do you feel like inflation is can be a form of distraction from the Black Lives Matter movement?
No.
Okay. So you feel like the people in the streets as the same amount of numbers that were like during COVID?
The same amount of people that's on, it's worse now. It's worse because they have taken more away from the people.
Okay, as in?
This has nothing to do with the inflation though.
Okay. I just want your opinion. That's fine. Okay. Anything else on this topic?
I'm trying to grasp what what you're really trying to ask?
I'm saying a distraction as far as the protesters that were once on the street for a Black Lives Matter movement during COVID, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Do you feel that inflation can become a form of distraction? As if me, I'll give you an example. If I was a protester at every single one of the protests during the Black Lives Matter movement, I'm now having to work almost every day of my life. I don't have that free time, is what I'm saying, to go protest. So do you feel like inflation could have been enforced as a form of distraction in that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand what you're saying, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Because what you are trying to, what is coming off as is you're saying they're using inflation as a distraction. I would have to say in the wrong sense.
Mm-hmm.
What they use as a distraction, what I would give as what the government use as a distraction, is the fact that they are focusing, instead of us focusing on real world issues like drug problems, homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
they rather focus on a man wearing a dress. That's, to me, is called a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
They're focusing on LGBTQ.
Okay.
That's called a distraction.
That's fair.
This inflation is a disrespectful ass ripoff and a clear sign of how the government don't give a fuck and they only want to make their pockets bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the inflation, I wouldn't use it as a distraction because we have the gun lobbyists. It's all about money.
Understood.
We have children. We are losing children every year. We are losing our babies. The gun violence is ridiculous.
Mm.
But yet, it's a problem. But they still don't want to talk about it. They want to use a distraction by talking about a man wearing a dress.
That's fair.
So, to answer that, that's my response to what you're saying. And I know that you were saying you noticed it because after the protests and after people got about Black Lives Matter, is I understand where you're coming from, but it's actually what you realize. It's more of what was brought to your reality because without COVID, without George Floyd, all that at one time, we would still be asleep and not awake.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're woke. At one point, everybody kept on working and kept on doing this system because it was a system that we were used to doing and working that was never broken. And to me, COVID was a sign of God. When COVID happened, people realized we couldn't just depend on our government. Not everybody. I didn't get no stimulus check. I didn't get my stimulus checks till years later. I was homeless during this time, you guys. And a lot of other people. But $1,200 one time for a whole year, that ain't shit.
That's it. Okay.
So people started discovering more about themselves. COVID made people focus more on what they wanted to do with their lives because now, a week before, you were able to do these things that you were doing every day that you were accustomed to for years and years, and then it all got ripped away from you. You had to stay in the house. You had to do this and that, and you really didn't know how you was going to make the next bill. So it made people go within themselves and discover things about themselves and help them make money on their own.
Agreed, yes.
And it made them awaken to things that had been going on, but we were blind to seeing. And so now I understand why you're saying, you asked the question, do you think they use the inflation as a distraction? The truth is they've been inflating our dumb asses.
Right.
We just more aware of it because we're more woke.
Yes, okay. Understood. I just want to highlight a gym, which was actually
a gym, G-Y-M.
Yeah, let me finish.
I'm
Yes.
asking.
I'm telling you, a gym, as in something you said meaning it's a gem to the people, right? I just want to highlight something she said. When I said the government supported us with the stimulus checks, she changed that to helped, right? Because as you just explained, the $1,200 really wasn't much.
It wasn't.
People thought it was free money. People probably spent it all types of ways, but
it came right back.
How much could you really do with $1,200?
Not too much of shit.
Exactly.
And then they came back and took it out your taxes a year later.
And that's what this is why we're in inflation. This is what we're paying for.
And so they're going at 75%. I was talking about earlier.
Exactly.
But you know what, Maya? It is what it is. That's why I keep God first. That's why I pray every day. Because it's, as a black person in this world, first of all, it's an anxiety walking out your door, the comfort of your home. And it shouldn't even be that way. So as a black person that's not in denial of who they are and their value when it comes to the outlook of what the government and the United States sees black people as I'm a realist. I am a realist. I'm very aware of racism. I'm very aware of I could be killed just by walking out my door because of the color of my skin. But yet we have to face these atrocities every day. But a white child who grew up without a father can go shoot up a whole school and get sympathized for it. They be like, oh, well, Freddie didn't have a daddy. Bitch, it's a lot of us that are black and of color that don't have daddies. That don't go shoot up people, children. We don't know.
Ooh. So,
the inflation is just a highlight of what America is. It's just the reality of what they've been doing to us. They've been ripping us off. Instead of it just being black people this time, it's everybody. It's literally everybody. You can't just steal from one culture anymore. You can't just do that in plain sight. So now you're taking from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so they call it marginalized. You have the poor community, the middle class, and then the rich.
Yes.
And the middle class is falling closer and closer to poor every month.
Every day.
Every day, every second. So, it's sad. It really is. But that's how I feel about that. That's what I have to say about the inflation. That I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at these people doing what they doing. And they have all this money, dark money. These are the same people that are kidnapping our children, the black market. These are the same people that are putting the guns on the street. These are the same people that are the head of a lot of these atrocities against America, the so-called land that they love. So,
yeah.
Basically, honestly, I could say I don't care, but it doesn't bother me as much as it should morally, because morally, I don't have expectations for these people morally. I feel like these people that sit up higher than us have no morals. They're evil. They're evil. They're evil. They shouldn't be so much involved in someone else's personal life when you can't even get your country straight. Your own congregation in the black they call the caucus. You can't even get your own people together in your own caucus.
Yeah.
You understand? Y'all can't agree on shit. And that's for Democrats and Republicans. Because no matter who fuss with who, ain't shit been done about anything that need to be done on the streets of America. And we the people are still here suffering. And every time we vote to put anyone in office, nobody do their job. Nobody. I haven't seen any results for shit. Democratic or Republican.
That is true. And it's been years. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the same America no matter who in the office. Maya,
and guess what? I'm still trying to figure out in the state of Tennessee, how in the hell can people suspend somebody on the opposing team? That's like me being on a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm playing against the basketball team at my school championship, and I'm like, oh well, I don't like those two players on the other team, so I'ma suspend them.
Y'all
What the
can't
fuck kind of shit?
Y'all can't play in this game. That's crazy.
What's
the point of being on the other team if they get to dictate?
What's the point of what's really going on?
Right.
So I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell the Republicans was able to suspend 2 Democrats. Yeah. Y'all not even on the same team.
Yeah. You right.
It's a joke. Mm-hmm. It's a motherfucking joke. So at the end of the day, I feel like when it comes down to it, it's us. We the people that take care of each other. We look out for each other. Because I'm from, let me let the people know, I'm from Louisiana, baby. And in Louisiana, we go through a lot of hurricanes. And not one time did the government step in and help us. Not once. The only time I seen the government step in was during Katrina. And when they stepped in, these bitches stepped on our bridges and kept our people underwater and was standing on the bridges with AK-47s telling our people to get back in the water, and if they cross, they were going to shoot them. And they named them refugees. A refugee is somebody that comes from another country that is fleeing to another country. Mm-hmm. Our people with no refugees. That's when I seen the military. Oh yeah. Ready to shoot us dead. Shoot my people dead in the water. They dying already. So, let me get to my point. We help each other. The churches help us. The people, we help each other. We feed each other. The government don't come in and say, hey, here's some food. Let us help you. Here this is. No, the community comes together. So, no, the inflation is just a highlight of what's been going on. And we are only more self-aware of it since George Floyd and since COVID-19, because we were subconsciously brought aware of it. We got stopped in our personal lives of the things that we were doing and halted, and everything changed. And so it made us be more awake. We were numb. We were on autopilot for a long time. And God stepped in. And I believe it was nothing but the act of the Lord. And when it happened, everything happened for a reason. Because once they put that knee on that man's neck, we had already been tired of being in our houses and cooped up and not knowing how we going to pay our bills. And we couldn't depend on shit the government was talking about. Because goddamn, you try to call anybody, you get the press 1 for this operator. And you on the phone for 3 and 4 hours. And then you talk to one operator, and this bitch send you all the way to the beginning of the line. God damn.
Yeah, man. I took that time to figure shit out myself. They weren't about to do anything for you. There wasn't probably nobody in the office. That's the point.
Not a damn thing. And then the checks they sent out, guess what? They come right back and got it, baby.
Oh yeah.
So support it. No, nigga, motherfucker. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah. But that's how I feel about the inflation. The inflation is just a highlight of what really is going on in the government. And then how much they really don't give a fuck about us, and how it really is about money. Because if it wasn't about money, these AR-15s would be off the street. If it wasn't about money, our mental health institution would have it. Instead, they feeding it to these people that are a program to shoot black people dead because America hate black people. And that's the police. Yes, I said it.
Oh, is that a period?
It is. Period, poo.
Period, poo.
Them are the ones that are paid to kill us. And I'm not making it up. If you look all the way back in history, baby, they started off riding on horses and putting sheets on their face. It was the sheriff of the town, okay?
I like that. We had a passionate moment from Sarah. A lot of passionate moments. And all these stories she telling is true. She was on the streets protesting during COVID-19. George Floyd. She was there. She was there when Hurricane Katrina and the government. She is telling the truth. This is from the street. Straight told from the mouth of a witness. A true witness.
Amen.
Her name is Sarah.
That's why I say, no matter what, you guys, keep God first. No matter what you're going through. No matter what it looks like around you. Have faith. The Lord can bring you out of any situation. You understand? In a situation, it's not about what you see, it's about what you believe. And that's all I have to say about this show today.
All right, folks. That was Random Noise. Want you to wipe those tears. If you're going into work, please clear your mind. Don't take out any anger on the white people unless you ready to lose your job, willing to lose your job. Because everything she's speaking is true. But we still trying to operate in this world and pay these bills, baby, because it was inflation. That was the topic. Remember that. Catch you next time.